Sometimes, a counselor has to complicate things for people to receive it. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? Watch. You're in a hole, quit digging. Yeah. That's too simple. Huh? Pastor, I was an evangelist pastor. I was in transition. This lady got upset because I spoke about men and women going too far with the dressing. Well, what is too far with your dressing? When the preacher has to go, ¡ay, Dios mío! Did that cover it all? And men can be just as bad. Maybe worse. You get where I'm coming from? Oh, this guy disrespected me and everything. And I'm sitting there having to look at the corner of the room. Huh? Come on now. We didn't come here to, to bake peanut butter cookies. And out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book, all the promises of the book. Next verse, Revelations 20:15. And whosoever was not found in the book of life was what? Cast into the lake of fire. Is that clear enough? Those three scriptures should pretty much cover it, You got it? Now we have to cover that. Now here we go. Exodus 32, and 33. Do you know that Moses knew about the book of life? What? That's Old Testament. Sometimes we wonder why they did such great miracles and they were in the Old Covenant. Some knew God better than others. Listen to this. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin. Now Moses is trying to put pressure on God.
Oh my goodness. That's right.
Moses was enabling. You know that you can enable people? You can be an enabler. And he goes before God and he says, oh God, if you don't forgive them, you blot out my name out of your book. Listen, Moses, I have never parted Lake Mead. God has never used me to part Lake Mead. I'm just going to leave it at that. So, But I'm observing because the Bible had to be written inspired by God because nobody would tell on themselves like this. You hear about Abraham, and I go, my gosh, what he wrote about himself. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sins, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of the book which thou hast written. That was way before Revelation was written. Moses knew about the book of life. He knew. And the Lord said unto Moses, are you ready? Some people look at this and he goes, oh yes, he held God back. Or God would have killed them all. God would have this. Oh, so Moses was more righteous than God, huh? They admire Moses. Oh, you know the mistake Moses made here? Why could Moses not enter into the promised land? because of these people that he enabled or tried to. He lost it with them. Lord, take me now. You ever been in those moments? And the Lord said unto Moses, whosoever hath sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. God's mentioning the book of life. Last verse in this page. And all that dwelled upon the earth. This is talking about the Antichrist. Are you ready? And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not what? Written in the book of life. So these guys' names were never written. Not blotted out. Did you get that? Of the Lamb. Now here's where we get into predestination is going to be so clear to you. What it really is, by the way. And of the Lamb slain from the foundations of the what? Apps written. Jesus carried the cross from the foundations of the world. Did you understand? You know what foundation means? The beginning. Gino, we're going to build a house, but we're going to start with the roof. Foundation. And everything goes on top of that. Did you understand that? This is deep, but simple. So, Jesus was slain. He was a lamb ordained. There was a meeting in heaven. Here's Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Father says, Son, will you go? And I'm keeping it in a very simplistic way. And Jesus said, I volunteer. I'll go and die for them. God the Father said, then I will be their Father. And the Holy Spirit said, and I will reveal you, Jesus, to men. So when did Jesus really start carrying the cross? Do you know that Jesus knew all about the cross? You ever read Isaiah? Way before Jesus was ever born. It describes the cross in such details that it is shocking. But yet it's verified that this happened. This was spoken and written before Jesus came. And there are things that no one had control over. But at the garden, he knew all about it. He knew all the details. He saw it in the future, but he had not experienced it. Jesus had never experienced people tearing the beard off his face, beard, and nails, 39 lashes. That's why in the garden, how many times did he pray? If there's any other way of doing this, Father. Because see, it came time for Jesus to what? Experience it in the flesh. He had never had a body of flesh. A body of flesh has nerves, you know, bones. Slain from the what? Okay. Turn to the other side. again about the Antichrist. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall what? Worship him. Whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundations of what? So there's some people whose names have never been written in the book of life, which brings me to a question. What do you mean free will? You predestine people to go to heaven and to go to hell. And on top of that, you can erase some of them that are already there. But do you know that it talks about that the people's names are written before the what? Can I ask you a question? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. And then it says, and he wished that none should perish, but that all should come to everlasting life.